I think I see your point, because if you say there's a wide, gap, a huge gap that must be filled before we get to see regular supply of petroleum products to make it easy for anyone to drive in and drive out with this product in your tank or your jerry can, it then means there must be some kind of massive movement of importation of this product. What are those things that you think they can do to make us see not one, not two, not three vessels coming in and going back immediately to fill in that gap?
Yes, the first thing is what we have been saying. First, there must be forex made available because we have, as we speak, all the major marketers have concluded arrangements to bring in products. All right. I have the laycans of the vessels that almost all the 6, 7 major marketers are bringing. Okay, but you need the FX to close out the transaction. We already have some that we have not paid, and that's another big area. You see, now we have the Naira. All marketers, DAPMA, MOMAN, IPMAN, there's Naira, but you can't get the FX. One of them called me shortly before I came here that he's been told to come and get the Naira, the dollars, at over 200, almost 300.
From which source is this?
From the bank.
You also go through that hassle?
Oh, no.
Because we've received emails, and when they talk about bank rate, and you're told it's about 100, is it 90 or so?
Nobody gets that.
But you
take it from me.
No, that we thought that the ordinary Nigerian who's been exploited, because sometimes you do an online transaction from your own bank.
Yeah.
Your bank is taking the black market rate off you.
Yeah.
So the marketers are also suffering that.
Exactly. We are.
Can the CBN whip them in line?
Well,
are we that helpless? Because if they do it to an ordinary Nigerian who's still trying to get his rights, sorted on that issue, how come major marketers, non-major marketers, are also suffering what the man on the street is going through?
Let me reveal one thing. In the last regime, we had a meeting with the bankers committee, and at that meeting, they were even laughing at us when we said there was going to be a problem. And one of them said, if you think that business is not paying you, better check out. Okay? We are not getting it at the rate we should get it. And it's a problem. If we can't access it at the official rate, then what do you think of the ordinary businessman?
But the thing about it is that there isn't any guarantee that this forex will be coming in the measure or manner that you need it. What if market forces, cause it to dwindle? Does it mean we go back to the same situation?
When the market forces make the FX inflow dwindle, we'll rely on the efforts of the Minister of State, our own sector, in his engagement with the IOCs, because they actually can help. And in the past, they've been helping. Last quarter, I know that they actually helped 2 of us greatly. So we'll appeal that the minister continues his engagement with the IOCs because they trade in dollars anyway.
Yeah, I think two officials of government should come in here: the Minister for Petroleum and the CBN governor. If banks are doing things that are unhealthy in practice, because there mustn't be any reason for any bank to say this is the official rate, and you act as if you are the man somewhere in the street of Lagos or any other city who changes this foreign exchange.
Yeah, we'll be glad if not only the CBN governor and the Minister of State, we'll be glad even if the president steps in. Yeah, because that is the truth. We are not getting it at the official rate.
Okay,
we
now
are not.
a little bit of, if I can move away from this a bit, why is it that marketers, major ones, are not going to build refineries?
Yeah, okay. I love that point. Why don't you go into certain business areas? Fundamentally, you go into business to make profit. If you build any refinery now, and the government still stays at the point where they determine the ceiling at which you sell your product, then there's a problem. That is the main reason why the incentive to go is not there, because you build a refinery and then government comes up one morning and says, don't sell beyond 86 naira.
So the answer to that is deregulation.
Oh, definitely. It's a song that we have been singing, and we'll continue to sing it until it is nice in the ears of government.
Is it difficult for them to understand? Because just
the
recently,
president has said he believes there's no. First, he said there was no subsidy. All right, and we believe that some people close to him should convince him that that's the only way to go. Deregulate, put up good regulatory framework so that people don't misbehave.
Because that's key.
Yeah, very key. All right. And then everybody will follow the rules, but we'll be able to. And you know, anytime you talk about the refineries, local refineries, for me, even though what President Obasanjo did was clouded in some secrecy, the best thing is to sell the refineries. And anytime you make the point, Labour says, oh, why do you wait? Why don't you set up your own refinery? Why do you want to sell? And they forget that the first person that seized the refinery was government. The first refinery was a private refinery. Okay? They seized Port Harcourt refinery, which was built and run by Shell and BP in those days, nationalized it, thinking they can manage it. And here we are. Government cannot. The refineries as they stand now, and I was hearing one news, the refineries are not really old. Do you know that the youngest refinery in South Africa is of the same age as the oldest refinery in Nigeria? All you do is the constant maintenance. If you do a schematic drawing of a refinery, they are all tubes and cylinders. So it's remove and replace. It may sound very simple, but that is practically what is happening. But
I'm just
no
curious.
government can maintain those refineries as they are now.
Why do you think that another investor has been willing to build a refinery in spite of the fact that government is still dictating, the ceiling at which you'll sell?
The only refinery, the only investor that is that I see is serious to build a refinery is Dangote. Mm-hmm. Okay, and he's a clever businessman. He chose an export-free zone. So that refinery will be treated as export.
For the external market.
For you and I. Okay, yes, because if he built it in my village, for instance, and he's buying crude at international rates, as everybody does, and he's refining, and he's getting all his resources, all the chemicals, all reagents from abroad, then he has to think twice if government is going to tell him you can't go beyond this price.
Just tell us, though, even now, major marketers are still accused of sharp practices. In some cases, they're told, we hear that major marketers get allocation as it stands from the NNPC, but then sell to independent marketers because there's a quicker profit to be made there. Is that true? Can you confirm that?
No. The arrangement between us, and I'm talking as a major marketer, in our own case, we sell at the government-controlled price. There's an ex-depot price, and that's the price we sell to anybody that comes. And our practice is even to sell more to our filling stations than to independent marketers. We do service some of them, but the ratio is very low. So we don't sell, no sharp practice from any major marketer.
When do you think this scarcity will end?
I wish I was an ordained prophet. We're doing our best, and I think the ultimatum, the deadline given by the minister was actually a deadline to us to see that we should end it as soon as possible. For us, we are currently distributing the products given to us by NNPC. When we come in with FX available, I've been on this program before, and I said in 4 or 5 days it will end. And it actually ended because I have all the figures, all the vessels, all the volumes coming in. So I'm confident to say this. This time around, because we are not yet into the importation, NNPC is the only one importing. I do not have all the figures they have, so they are the only ones that can say it will end on this date. For me, I'm going to, or for our association, we are distributing all the volumes they are giving us, and luckily, all the pranks, all the cheatings that are going on in the petrol stations, civil defense is helping, police is helping, and I drove around even this morning. There's some sanity in how they have. There's no petrol, but at least the lines are
Orderly.
they're orderly.
That's why it's orderly, because there's none. Well, we have to thank you for coming on, Mr. Femi Olawore, Executive Secretary, Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria. Thank you once again.